Now being part of the UNESCO Heritage List, the Viking shipbuilding technique will be preserved for the generations to come. Hey guys, Christopher Norse Rain. There's been a lot of Viking-related news in the media lately, and I have covered a couple of these stories, but there's still a lot of things that I haven't yet talked about. So in this week's video, I'm doing a summary of all the news stories that I haven't yet touched upon. So here are the highlights of December 2021. UNESCO includes Nordic clinker building, the way all Viking ships are assembled, as part of the World Heritage List. A new research study is starting in Scotland, mapping the travel routes of the Vikings. Unique objects from the Viking Age found in the medieval park in Oslo. Also worth mentioning is the huge longhouse found at the Gjellestad site and the new study that proves that the Vikings weren't the first settlers on the Faroe Islands. I already made videos about these stories, check them out for more details. The Nordic clinker-built boat tradition is now to be inscribed in UNESCO's representative list of the intangible cultural heritage of humanity. Clinker building is a traditional Nordic boat building technique that goes centuries back. The hull planks overlap each other and are fastened using metal rivets, tree nails, or rope. Oldest known vessel that is clink-built is the Nydam boat from Denmark, built in 320 AD. And all Viking ships are built by this standard. Traditionally, it takes about 10 years to become a master clink builder, and today there are around 1,000 people in the world who work professionally with this craft. Now being part of the UNESCO Heritage List, the Viking shipbuilding technique will be preserved for the generations to come. Over to Scotland. A new research study is starting up, mapping the travel routes of the Vikings in Scotland. The coastal entry points of the Vikings and the land routes where they would portage their boats to shorten their journey or to avoid unnecessary dangers will be examined in greater detail than what has previously been done. The study will primarily look at the sites on the west coast and a handful of locations in Caithness and Sutherland. It is expected that hundreds of potential locations linked to Norse settlers will be identified, with a portion of them to be researched in great detail. The research team consists of Scottish and German academics who will focus on a mixture of Viking place names, geophysical surveys, and archaeological excavations in order to map the travel and communication routes by the Norsemen in Scotland between 790 and 1350. Also in from Scotland are new details regarding a Viking sword discovered at a cemetery in Maybach, Papa Westray, on the Orkney Islands in 2015. According to new analyses, the sword may be traced back to the first Viking settlers of the Orkneys. The sword was found together with other items and shows evidence of a Viking boat burial. The 9th century sword is classified as a Petersen type D sword, which is one of the heaviest Viking Age swords. The sword is heavily corroded, but through X-ray analysis, it appears that the guard is highly decorated. More tests are yet to be done. Back here in Norway, we've had several archaeological finds in Oslo. NIKU, Norwegian Institute for Cultural Heritage Research, reports that 2 objects with rune inscriptions were found during an ongoing excavation in the medieval park, Oslo, one being a rune bone, which is the first to be found in Oslo in over 30 years. The other object is made of wood and contains both Norse and Latin text. The bone comes from a large domestic animal like a cow or horse and has one faint rune with an inscription on one side and on the other side 13 clear runes which reads Basmardarbein. There are two plausible interpretations here. Either the inscription is a name or nickname, or it refers to the bone itself, in which case it would respectively translate to either Båtmords bone, as in the bone of Båtmord, or bone of the barn goat. As mentioned, the bone is probably from horse or cow, so why it would be referring to a goat is unclear. Possibly there's a joke we're not seeing the context of here. The other wooden item has 3 out of 4 sides inscribed. Sticks with rune carvings are quite common for the Viking Age. The stick is damaged in both ends, so parts of the inscription is probably gone. In Latin, we can make out the words manus domina, which translates to hand and lord. And in Norse, we can make out the girl's name, Brynjard. The Latin part is possibly part of a common Latin prayer, in manus tuas domine commendo spiritum meum. In your hands, Lord, I surrender my soul. And Brynjard, most likely the owner of the stick, is possibly proclaiming her Christian beliefs. It's interesting to find both Latin and Old Norse on this same item, as this might indicate that this is from the time after Christianity was brought to Norway, but before the Norse culture was gone. Another find in the medieval park from the same excavation is this wooden figurine, dating back to the 13th century. The figurine is either a king or a queen holding a falcon, making this one of the earliest visual representations of falconeering in Scandinavia. From the saga literature, there are several references of using birds of prey for hunting. A trained bird of prey was extremely valuable and was in majority an activity exclusively for the elite, who applied falconeering not only for hunting but also warfare. Håkon Håkonsson, king of Norway from 1217 to 1263, was known for gifting falcons to other kings in Europe as part of building alliances, and for a Norwegian king, the most valuable gift one could give was a falcon. The lower half of the figure is hollow, which indicates it could have been a shaft for a weapon or tool. If the figurine really portrays Håkon Håkonsson, we can't say with certainty, but he does fit the bill. And that completes this month's Norse news update. Did I forget anything? I probably did. In that case, let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoy Viking-related content like I do, like and subscribe. It really helps me out making more videos just like this. Thanks for watching, guys, and I wish you all a great 2022, and I'll see you on the next one.